So we are given 4 matrices and we need to answer which of the following matrices is elementary matrix. We know that elementary matrix is a matrix which differs from the identity matrix by one single elementary row operation. So let's look at our matrices. Let's start with matrix A, which is 0, 3, 1, 0. So let's try to perform some row operations in order to get identity matrix from this matrix A. So our first operation would be dividing the first row by 3. So row 1 becomes row 1 over 3. So we get 0, 1, 1, 0. And here it's important to realize that this is not an identity matrix. In order to make this an identity matrix, we need to interchange our rows. So row 1 interchanges with row 2. And now we have an identity matrix. But as you can see, we have performed two row operations. So that means that this is not an elementary matrix. Not elementary. Well, now let's look at matrix B. 2, 0, 0, 1. Again, we will try to perform some row operations. Here you clearly understand that you need to get rid of 2 because there are only zeros and ones in identity matrix. So we will divide the first row by 2. So R1 becomes R1 over 2. Here we have 1, 0, 0, 1. As you can see, this is an identity matrix. So from matrix B, we can get identity matrix by performing one row operation. So that means that it's elementary. Matrix B is elementary. Next, matrix C. Here matrix C is 1, 0, 0, 1. If you looked at it, you will realize that this is an identity matrix. Identity matrices are sometimes they're seen as elementary matrices because obviously you can, for example, multiply row 1 by 1, and you will just have the same matrix, and you have performed the row operation and you got elementary identity matrix. However, in some definitions, in some textbooks, it's not seen as identity matrix is not considered to be one of the elementary matrices. So now let's look at part D. Here we have 2, 0, 0, 2. Again, we need to get rid of 2 and 2 in the first and second row. So first we will divide the first row by 2. Row 1 becomes row 1 over 2, and we get 1, 0, 0, 2. And now we need to get rid of the other 2 in the second row. So row 2 becomes row 2 over 2. And now we get identity matrix. So here we have performed 2 row operations. So this is not elementary matrix. Not elementary. So as you can see, since in this question they asked us to choose only one matrix that is elementary, the correct answer would be matrix B. However, in some textbooks, some mathematicians consider identity matrices also to be elementary. So it depends.